A big thing in fantasy football is finding those handcuff running backs with a lot of juice. So when the starter goes down, you got the next man up. And they don't have to be handcuffs for your starting running back. They could be just a backup with a lot of athleticism and a good opportunity that you know or have a good feeling that if they somehow get the starting job somewhere down the line in the middle of the season, you got yourselves an RB1, a top-tier running back, a guy that can be productive for your fantasy team. Today, we're going to take a look at Trey Benson and see whether or not you need him for your fantasy football team. Maybe you want to catch him later. Maybe you want to draft him right now. Whatever it is, we're going to go over the news, the facts, the data, the advanced metrics, and everything else so you can make your decision. But before we do, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're talking about these players every day. We're going to do a lot of deep dives every single day. Player lists in season. We're going to talk about the waiver wire. We're going to talk about strategy. We're going to help you set your lineups. Click that button. Stop missing out. Today, we're looking at Trey Benson. And we got to start from the bottom and work our way up because out of high school, he's a 4-star prospect, ranked as the 21st running back in his class. Got recruited by Oregon, some other Power 5 schools, but not highly recruited, not like a top-tier prospect. But things turned out good for him. And when you look at his speed and athleticism coming out of high school, 4.49 40-yard dash, 35 vert, that's very good from the high school game. He was also very productive, rushing for 3,600 yards and 48 touchdowns, which is a good sign that he was productive at the high school level. But then we got to Oregon, only 6 rushing attempts in 2021. We transferred to Florida State, and instantly we got it done, rushing for 990 yards and 9 touchdowns. And then last year, we put the stamp on things, 14 rushing touchdowns for Florida State. We caused 45 missed tackles. The year prior, 79. We got some burst and wiggle there with 31 runs in 2022 of 10 yards or more. And we're getting a good clip of yards after contact per attempt. 4.53 in 2022 and 3.53 in 2023, 3.97 on his career. But looking at his profile, got drafted in the 3rd round, early part of the 3rd round, and we run in the 4.3s. And then when you go to the tape, you see that speed once he hits the 2nd level. He's very decisive. He's good between the tackles. He can catch the ball out in the flat and get some juice with it. We also got some good size. He can be a good banger back with some juice here, which could help the Arizona Cardinals and can also be a pivotal option if something happens to James Conner. And then his speed is also documented on the field, hitting 21.3 miles per hour in game, which is something to note. Not just 4.3 tested, but it also shows up on the field. But James Conner's the man, and he's going to be the man until he's not the man. But he was the man for 12 games last year. 890 yards, 6 touchdowns. And you know what? Running backs get hurt. The starter goes down. That happens with a lot of teams in the National Football League. You got to be looking at these backup running backs. And he's a backup running back with a lot of juice. And compared to the backups they had last year, he is a massive upgrade. He gives this team a lot of upside. And for fantasy, if something happens to James Conner, he's going to be the next guy up. And he could give you a lot of flash for your fantasy team. And you look at the pace of play for the Arizona Cardinals, another reason why you want Trey Benson, James Conner, and a lot of other pieces in this offense. It's a fast-paced offense. 25.7 seconds between snaps. We're running the ball a lot. We're running a lot of plays. There's a lot of opportunity in this offense, especially when it's clicking. But James Conner, when he's healthy on the field, he can be productive. When James Conner's on the field, he's the guy. And he's going to be the man until he's the man. This isn't a video saying, hey, Trey Benson's going to take over, yada, 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 this, that. But starting running backs get hurt, and the backups come in. That RB2, usually the workload goes straight to that guy. Unlike wide receiver 2s, they do not get to work. Sometimes the offense just slows down. Sometimes the targets get spread out. But the RB2 usually, who's backing up that starting running back, especially a primed up-and-comer, will get the workload. James Conner is productive. James Conner is good. We like James Conner for what he is. But running backs get hurt. They get nicked up. They miss time. And that's just the nature of the beast. So you got to look at the backup running back. And the fact is James Conner can be productive, which means a running back with a lot of upside who's playing behind him who steps in a role can also be productive as well. In the offense, you're looking at Trey Benson's ADP here, being drafted as the RB40 off the board, round 11 on Underdog. You're also seeing the value dip a little bit as we get deeper into August. That means that drafters are noticing him and they're realizing, hey, if I put him in my starting lineup week 1, 2, 3, I may not get fantasy points. So he's going to be on my bench, and I may not want that, and I may want other positions. So he's falling a little bit, where earlier in the summer, people were all over him. People were all over him because they think he has a lot of upside. He's got a lot of juice. That's what the market's saying. And now the market's realizing, hey, I may not get instant production. I may not get instant ramification. So, round 11 draft capital, he's fallen where he was previously round 10-ish. But you're looking here at 4for4 multi-site ADP. So, the big sites, ESPN, NFL, Yahoo, and a few others average together going into the 11th round. So, it's almost lockstep with Underdog Fantasy. And he's falling a little bit. This is probably the price you're going to pick up your upside RB2s anyways. And this is a lot better price tag than round 10. Late round 9, you can get your RB2, RB3, and if you want to shoot for the upside, round 11 for a rookie running back drafted early 3rd round that runs into 4.3s, that has some production. This is a good spot for him. He's an expensive handcuff. There's a lot of cheap handcuffs down the board here as we get deeper into the rounds, but the upside is immense. If James Conner goes down, say he tears his ACL week 3, you probably got a league-winning running back right here. You at least have the potential for that. A lot of the other running backs listed below in ADP, not a lot of them have that because you got a fast-paced offense. You got a quarterback that can run the ball. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., so you don't want to stack the boxes there. The rest of the wide receivers are looking good in training camp. He's got that pop. He's got that wiggle. He's got good vision. Trey Benson at this range of the draft here. Expensive handcuff. But when you look at the other players around here, Zach Charbonnet, Pat Fryermuth, Curtis Samuel, Rashid Shaheed, it's a lot of jabronis. There's some upside. There's RB2s, later wide receivers, all that stuff. But if you want to shoot for the home run, this is the pick to do it. You don't want them because you don't want the rookie running back lottery ticket. You need that double-digit round pick to give you some fantasy production, because you went ham with wide receivers, you're getting your RB2, and you want another running back that you feel like that you can insert them in your lineup early because you want that production. But you want that rookie lottery ticket, you want to go to the moon, you want that piece that if they hit, if they get their opportunity, which the potential's higher with a prospect like this, could give you the reward of winning your league and could be that domino that just falls in your roster that gives you enough fantasy points per week that could be the outlier to win your league outright instantly if he ever gets the job. And that's what you're looking at with players like these. These are lottery tickets, and you cannot predict when they'll go off. I know I had questions about Devin Achane. How long can I hold him? I want to drop him right now. And I'm like, you're going to have to diamond fist. You're going to have to make the right roster moves. You're going to have to do what's best for your fantasy team. You're not going to know. You're not going to know. And then like the next week or two was going off. And that's just how it is. You're just going to have to hold as long as possible. That is part of the game. That's part of the strategy. You're not going to know when it's going to happen. You're not going to know if it's going to happen. But the likelihood of these types of players, especially at the running back position, is more likely. Especially if the dominoes fall their way. You can't control if the dominoes fall their way. You can't control if this player is actually going to take advantage of their opportunities. Sometimes you're a good player. You miss out on a few opportunities because you make a few bad decisions. Things don't happen. Next thing you know, you're not getting more opportunities, and that's just part of life. That's just part of life. But again, the potential's there. The upside's there. And you just got to diamond fist these lottery tickets. If you don't want diamond fist lottery tickets and you want guys that can give you some production, go the other way. Go the other way because he is kind of an expensive handcuff. But I'm looking at these handcuffs in this range of the draft. I'm drafting them up. I want handcuffs. I want upside at the running back position once I hit those double-digit rounds, and I'm just plucking them off the board. That is my strategy. I'm making sure I'm built at wide receiver by round 7, and then I'm hitting those RB2s. I'm getting a couple of those, and then I'm getting those top-tier handcuffs, maybe 1 or 2 upside wide receivers as a luxury maybe an upside tight end or quarterback as a luxury. But those running backs is what I'm hammering. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.